Orbe.
Gracias, Indrani. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Dije, I say gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias. Gracias for having me.
Did I say your name correctly?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I my name's difficult, so I try to get other people's names correct.
Yeah, it's difficult for the people that don't know how to read.
Damn. Yes.
Shots fired. That's right.
Fired. The shots have been fired. It's so good to see you. It feels like it's been forever.
It's been a while.
It's been at least a year.
Oh my God. Yeah, has it been a year?
Yes.
I think it has been.
Yes, it has. It's been a year, close to.
Oh wow.
Close to since you were at our house. Close to. That's nuts, right?
That's nuts. Time flies. I woke up the other day. I was like, it's already November? What the fuck did I do this year?
I know.
Can I curse in this thing?
Oh, sure. We'll just cut it out. Just cut it out. Cut it out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. Okay, I ask everybody this, and then we'll launch. Why did you choose acting? Why acting? Because I ask everybody this.
That's a good question. I feel like I didn't choose. I feel like I just fell into it. I don't think I made a plan to go this route. Yeah, I always thought, well, I grew up Latino, Afro-Latino. In Latino world, like you grew up watching telenovelas, so you only see in soap operas only white Mexicans and stuff like that. So I didn't think acting was something that I could do. I also would tell myself I'm not good at memorizing things, so I don't think that I could be an actor because I don't know. I have bad memory.
Yeah.
Right. So
always been that way, huh?
I always been that way.
Yeah.
So when I joined the Navy, I did that for the first time, and I was like the guy that people came to, like, oh, Del Orbe, like I was like the clown.
Were you like the fun guy?
The fun guy, right?
Okay.
And when I left the Navy, I was like, I could never do public speaking. I was afraid of public speaking.
It was a fear.
It was a complete fear.
Oh.
So when I did stand-up, I fell in love with stand-up.
Now, how did you jump into stand-up from being afraid of talking in public?
Okay.
Who did that?
I did that. This is what it is. Even though I was afraid of public speaking.
Yeah, because that's scary for anyone.
Anyone. I hated being afraid of public speaking. Like my voice would crack, my arms would shake. I would have to stand like this.
Right.
And I remember somebody told me, people that are afraid of public speaking, why are you afraid of public speaking? You could talk one-on-one, one person. Right now, we're talking one-on-one.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat down and talked to two people?
Right. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5. That's public speaking. In front of your family, and I got family, I got Dominican family, so it's like 20 of us. I've talked in front of,
you don't get afraid?
I'm not afraid and talking in front of my family. And then this person was like, if it's 20, why not 30? Why not 40? Why not 50? Why not 100? Why not 200?
Wow.
And I'm like, it's just a conversation between human beings. What are you afraid of? Looking bad in front of people? And then I was like, you know what, you're right. Why am I afraid of that?
That's a brilliant person. I should talk to them too.
Yeah.
I mean,
that concept,
yeah.
I think that was the thing that clicked. And I was like, let me try doing stand-up. Let me face that fear. I saw Kevin Hart's laugh at my pain, and I was like, I relate to this guy.
Yeah.
He acts a lot like me. Even though I'm Dominican, he's African-American. Like, he acts so much, I could see myself in this man.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, I want to do stand-up. And the first time I did it, I'm not going to lie, I was so scared.
Yeah. And did you tank? Were you terrible?
And the first time I killed it. Because it was all my friends.
Okay, there you go.
All my friends.
There you go. So that helps?
That helped. I almost left too because I saw the other comedians are killing it. I hear we're in the Comedy Store. I hear all the comedians down in San Diego, like, they're kidding. I'm like, oh my God, they're not going to like my jokes.
That's scary. Yeah.
I almost got in the car and drove away. And I went up there and murdered.
Nice.
And that feeling, I think after that, I never looked back. And I was like, and I think I did stand up. I was like, okay, my girlfriend at the time was like, you should try doing social media. There's this guy that does social media. I looked at it. I was like, you know what? If I'm a comedian, I should do all aspects of comedy.
Yeah.
Right? So I started doing like little skits here and there. BuzzFeed was looking for a Dominican because they wanted to open up a new page.
Yeah.
And they called me up. They're like, Gadiel, we need a Dominican. Will you be down? I was like, yes. I'm going to be Dominican as possible. Right?
Lean all the way in.
Everything. So I went up there. I was like, yo, I'm going to do whatever I can. They said they were going to pay me, and I was broke.
Hey, that's enough motivation.
Enough. I was so broke. Like, I was so broke that I feel like every month, you know how, like, you overdraft your account, and you have to pay the $30.
Been there, done that many times.
So, you know, I figured out, before you overdraft, you could pull out $300 extra.
So you figured it out. It's like, there's the loophole.
There's the loophole. I would pull out $300. I would call my boy that works at Wells Fargo. I'm like, can you waive that $35 fee?
The $35 fee. Oh God.
No, and then when I went to BuzzFeed, I remember before I left the Navy, one of my boys was like, Gadiel, people don't get what they want because they don't ask.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed. He's like, just remember that one thing. Yeah. And when I went to BuzzFeed, I said, you guys need somebody to work? I could do it. I could do everything. They're like, do you know how to edit? I'm like, yes. I didn't know how to edit for shit.
You figure it out.
Do you know how to work with Premiere? I'm like, hell yeah.
Let me get a tutorial and figure it out right now.
Girl, I spent all weekend on YouTube. I'm like...
Right.
Yeah, yo.
The university.
We did a couple of, there was a couple of videos I was in, and they loved me in the videos. Right? Like, oh, this guy's so funny. And they were like, Gadiel, you know, like, what else you know how to do? I'm like, I got some ideas. I gave them ideas.
Right.
Right? And they're like, oh, man, we love that. You should work with us. I'm like, I should work with you guys. Whatever you guys need. You guys need somebody to scrub the toilet and make videos? I'll do it.
See?
Right?
Yeah.
And they called me. I was like, what else do you know how to do? I was like, I know camera angles. And I was like, I don't know that word.
Yeah.
I was just bullshitting through the whole interview.
It sounded good. It's like, I know how to shoot.
I'm good. Yeah, I know how to shoot. I know camera angles. I know how to do everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're a good salesman.
Of course. That's one thing I know. Mm-hmm. I'm Dominican. I know how to bullshit my way through anything.
Hilarious. And they were on board? Is that what happened?
Oh, they were like, when can you start? They're like, hey, when can you start?
Yes.
I'm like, whoa, that was quick.
Yeah.
What kind of start? I lived in San Diego still. They're like, oh, you know what? Can you start tomorrow? That's what I said. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'll be there in 2 weeks. I'm like, shit, I had to get rid of everything that I had down in San Diego. Yeah. And then I stayed in somebody's living room for a little bit. I lived in my car for a little bit while I was getting situated.
Yes.
Yeah. And the first day at work, they were like, hey, we need you to edit this video. And they gave me I'm like, fuck, I'm Premiere.
Dang. And you're in the office, right?
Hell yeah, I'm in the office. I'm like, you want to edit this right now?
You give me a second. Let me digest the footage.
I was calling my boy that was on Premiere. I talked to a couple of my coworkers. Like, hey, help me out here. How do you cut? How do you do this? How do you do this? Okay, I knew that I just forgot some things.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
But your personality and your salesmanship made them go, oh yeah, no, he's good.
He's good. You also got to think about this. I'm from New York. This is LA. Right? People in Hollywood, like, I know how to talk bullshit my way through anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you do it with, confidence.
Confidence. People don't know until you're confident.
That's right.
Right?
If you go in timid, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can.
It reminds me of, you ever read the book, 48 Laws of Power?
No, I have not.
Yeah. And there's a point that it says, success is for the boldness. It's something like power is within boldness. And it talked about Christopher Columbus, even though he was an asshole.
Right.
But there's something that we could learn from there. Christopher Columbus was a son of a farmer. So Christopher Columbus believed, treat yourself like a king. And he believed that he was like some type of royalty. So when he went to his mindset. So when he talked to the royal crown in Spain, he was Italian, right? So he went to Spain to the royal crown. The way that he talked to the queen himself, he had like this way of being that he deserved it. Like he just like he believed that he was some type of royalty.
Right.
So they believed him. Like
The way
there's
he
something-
carried himself.
The way that he carried himself, the queen was like, you know, I trust him. Let's give him some ship. There's something that he knows.
Yeah.
He knows how to get to India the faster way.
Right. Yeah.
And he was a total idiot because he ended up in the
Asking
Caribbean.
everybody, so how are we going to do that?
He didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
He ended up in the Bahamas. He was like, what?
Yeah, and you don't become an expert until you do it,
Yeah, that's true.
you know?
That's true.
That's crazy. So you were an actor a long time ago, before you even trained. Sure.
Yeah.
You believed,
Yeah.
you know, truthful behavior. You believed the given circumstances. Yeah.
That's exactly. I was acting. My whole life I've been acting.
You know, until you do it. You have to.
Yeah.
And then you become an expert. It's like, oh, okay, now I
Yes.
know.
I think when I started.
Do you know Premiere yet?
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay,
Like
good.
the back of my hand.
Had to check
I
it.
can do everything. Premiere, Photoshop. You
I
let
can
me
do
know.
it all.
Illustrate. I know. how to-
Your one-man production company.
And the funny thing is, in BuzzFeed, you did everything, right? You were acting, you were writing.
So you had to be a Swiss Army knife. That's great.
Everything. You behind the camera. You're setting up the camera, and you're editing,
Yeah.
and you're running sound.
Yeah. And then you were on-screen talent.
On-screen talent. Everything.
So that's what really started launching you, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know. So you're doing the thing, right? And you've done the stand-up, but then you made a leap into like scripted work, you know, as
Yes.
an actor. Why?
You know, the funny thing, I don't know why I went. I feel like the things are changing within our industry, right? And I was doing stand-up already, and I was like, you know what? Why not try doing acting? I love movies. I'm fascinated with movies, growing up and watching it, right? And if I am able to do stand-up, even though I told myself I couldn't do it, I lied to myself all these years. I believed the bullshit I told myself. Because lies.
Yeah.
The moment that there's a saying that says, if you say you can or you say you can't, either way you're right.
Correct. 100%
Yeah.
yes.
Which is like, that is the truest statement ever, because I told myself I couldn't do stand-up. I'm doing stand-up now. I was afraid of public speaking. I can't do it. I made a song. I said I could never make a song because I would never remember because I have bad memory. And I think acting was that thing of like, if I die, well, I want to leave everything on the table. I don't want to be like, I don't want to regret anything the moment I die. And we're all going to die.
That's right.
And time
None of us are going to escape it.
Nobody's going to escape it.
That's right.
Why not do everything that I want to do to the fullest?
Right.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. So?
Yeah.
At least you tried.
At
To
least
not
you
try it
tried.
is the worst.
Is the worst.
I think that's a soul killer.
Yes. And it's never too late.
No.
It's never too late.
100%. You know, you said it. So many students. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
so many are like, oh, I can't do it. I started too late. It's like, are you on drugs?
Yeah.
And if you are, that's okay. But doesn't mean you can't do this.
But they're lying to themselves.
Yes.
Right? And
You're
they're
believing the BS.
they're believing the bullshit.
Yep.
Right? And I remember walking into your class the first time I started doing acting. I felt like an outcast in the sense that I really felt, what do you call it, when imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
It was imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I bet you everybody has imposter.
Everybody has imposter syndrome. I thought I
You
was
think you're the only one that's like, nope.
I'm like, they see this. They probably look. In my head, I'm like, they'll probably see me as this, social media guy that thinks he's an actor now. Like this whole thing that was in my mind.
Mm-hmm. You created a narrative.
A narrative. This imposter syndrome was so real. Like, what am I doing in this acting class? I'm not an actor.
Yes, you are.
It turns out I was acting all my life.
And it's like, what's the difference between doing it, in a small, little scripted thing, class, or on a major, multi-million-dollar motion picture? It's like, it's just the environment's different.
That's true.
What's the big deal?
And also, if you want to do something, might as well get the training, right?
Yes.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Speaking my language.
Right?
Speaking my language. Now, I have to, sorry, but I have to ask you this because you are inspiring. I've told a couple people this, and you just kind of touched on it. You had it rough in the beginning, living in your car and doing all this stuff. What made you stick with it, And I look at you now, it's like, oh my God. Encouraging me to do my own thing. It's like, wow, if Gadiel can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. That's when you know who you are, when you are in the trenches and you're like sitting there, you're in your car, or you're like, there was a moment I was in my car, there was a moment I was in this cockroach-infested room, right? And I will cry. If I tell you that I was tough throughout the whole time, I'll be lying to you.
It's good to know you're human. Thank you.
But I remember those moments laying in bed by myself because it's lonely. I think LA is also an isolating place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Especially for those people that come here to chase a dream.
Yep.
It's a lonely journey.
Yes, it is.
Right?
It's a very transient city, too.
Yes. And I remember laying down in my bed and crying and telling myself, am I kidding myself? Am I tripping?
Right. Maybe this isn't for me.
Maybe this is for me. Am I wasting my time?
Right.
Right? And I was like, let me just keep going. Let me just take it one step at a time. And we'll do one video. I remember I did one video. I think the first video I did was over 1 million views.
My God.
And then
your first video?
First video at BuzzFeed.
Oh my God.
Was over 1 million views. And then
BuzzFeed was like, we love you.
This guy's an animal.
He's amazing.
And I was studying everything for BuzzFeed, everything. They the worst video, their best videos, my ideas, how can I incorporate what they did and put it here.
See, but that's work ethic.
That's work ethic.
Nobody gave it to you.
I was walking in, when you have nothing, right?
Yeah.
You could lose everything. Like, when you are at rock bottom, one thing I always told myself, I'm already at rock bottom.
Right.
There's only one way to go. When you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go.
It's like, well.
And that's up.
Yep.
There's nothing. When you hit rock bottom, there's nothing under rock bottom. Where the fuck you gonna go? I'm already this is the bottom.
This is the floor. There's nowhere else to go.
All I could go is up now, baby.
Right. That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
I woke up. I remember I would wake up at 5:20, 5:30 in the morning. And I would be. I'm supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
7 o'clock in the morning, I was in work, and I was the last one to leave every day.
Look at you. What was that time?
I would leave like sometimes 7, 8, sometimes 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
While everybody was going home, I would be the last one there. Just, wow. I like this song better than this one, okay.
Yeah.
Just editing.
Yeah.
Creating my own stuff.
But look at what's gone on with you now.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened with you now.
Yeah.
Tell the people a little bit about what's going on with yourself.
Now like I built a fan base, right? A loyal fan base from all the work that I did.
Yeah.
Right. Right now I'm able to work for me. I opened up with my own cigar shop. I own my own property here. From being homeless to owning real estate, multi-unit.
Come on.
I make a living out of my properties now, right? And
Fantastic.
And there's a moment in my life I went through bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I was in bankruptcy.
Yeah. I've known people who've gone through it multiple times. But, it's like, hey, man, happens.
Yeah. And to be able to, now I feel like I'm in a position that I have my own power. I'm able to tour. I'm touring. I go to D.C. We're sold out. Yonkers, Miami. This is amazing, right? I never see myself. I never thought that I could do this and doing what I'm doing today. But I fucking did it.
Yeah, you did.
Right? And I feel like if I could do it, I'm just a regular guy like anybody else.
Yeah.
If I could do it, anybody could do it.
That's the lesson.
I'm not special, right?
Yeah.
We're all, and everybody has something unique, their own personality, who they are. Right? They bring something to the table.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's you're so inspiring. I love that you agreed to sit down.
You told me you had to, I'm like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to. I'm doing it. That's why you hit me up. You're like, yeah. I was gonna do it that day.
Oh, that's right.
I was going to do it. I was like, yo, we still doing it? She's like, oh, no. You know.
Yeah. A crew member is sick.
Somebody had COVID.
I was like, no, I can't do it today.
Yeah, of course. You've been there for me from the very beginning. You know, you took me in. You treated me like the mother like I never had over here, right?
Oh, well, you're so wonderful.
Like, you taught me, like, I felt, coming to your class, I felt seen, right? I felt comfortable. You know, somebody that looks like me is teaching these classes.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That is, yeah. That is such an important thing that I didn't realize until I started really doing it. It's like, oh, wow.
Yes.
Representation, actually just seeing it.
Is
a big thing.
And when somebody believes in you and what you do, like, that sometimes everybody goes through their moments of like, I don't believe in myself. What am I doing?
Of course.
But when you have somebody that has the experience, that does this for a living, like, oh, I believe in what you do, that creates wonders.
It really, you got the gift, man. You really do. And you're welcome. But then partnering that with work ethic, that's the magic.
That's the magic
thing. You know what I mean? Because one is great, talent is wonderful, but without work ethic, that's nothing.
There's nothing. Also, I've been listening to this Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza, you ever heard of him?
No.
Dr. Joe Dispenza, you ever heard of him? No?
No.
So Dr. Joe Dispenza, like, he's very big in talking to your subconscious mind.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, I'm going to like this guy.
Right? And this guy is always tell yourself that you are the best. Tell yourself that move through the world that you are the best. That you live an abundant life. Even though sometimes you don't feel it, and sometimes you have to program your subconscious mind, telling your subconscious mind that you are the best at what you do. Yeah. Because the hardest thing that you could ever do is move through the world not believing in yourself and your own self-doubt. Then on top of that, on top of having to convince the world, you have to convince yourself. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because that's the hardest audience to convince is yourself.
That is yourself.
It's really the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man. I'm the best. So, then you really have to absorb it and take it in. You have to absorb
it. Even though Kanye West is kind of crazy right now, but
he's gone a little left.
Yeah,
he's definitely gone a little left.
He's got. But when they asked Kanye West when he won the Grammy, and he was like, "Do you ever picture yourself that you were gonna be on this stage in the Grammy singing?" He was like, "I already knew. The hard part was convincing everybody else."
I was like, I like that. I like what you're saying, man. It's the truth, right? Yeah. Like he already was working that mindset.
And can you imagine, like, I don't know, you saw the documentary?
Oh.
Great. And throughout the whole documentary, he's fighting for himself. He's fighting for his future. Yeah. He's fighting for what he believes in. And he already believes in himself.
And that's, eventually, yes, you're going to make everybody else go, oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it was hard. You see the hardness. It was hard to convince everybody else.
Right. Because you're in that, you're coming from that place right now where you really built a lot, from nothing to where you're at now. Yeah. And I see that you're going to be hitting the heights, because, no.
You should be gassing me.
I know. Here's the love bomb time. But, yeah, right. But with your platform as a comedian, you're in your fan base, it's going to build and build. And then you can greenlight movies. Yes. You can be that name, that Kevin Hart. Yeah. That's what it takes.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like one of the greatest books. There's two books that hold a high regard, right? And people might think I'm crazy, but it is what it is. Yeah. I love Robert Greene. 48 Laws of Power and the 50th Law of Power. And the 50th Law of Power, it talks about power, right? And incorporating the laws of power throughout history, but how 50 Cent incorporated to his rise. Right? And I like, for instance, there's a lot of things within the 50th Law of Power that he saw himself, he visualized before he got where he was going to go.
Right.
Right? There were so many things and intricacies in this book, The 50th Law of Power, that completely changed my mindset. Right? there was one thing that he said. He said he went into boxing. He got good in boxing because he went in and he was consistent. And then he said,
work ethic.
Work ethic, like you were just saying. You were just saying. So because his work ethic and he was consistent in boxing, he became good at it. He said, if I just apply that into rap, I'm going to be successful.
A superstar. Yeah. Yeah. I love, because at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your company.
Of your company.
So it's like, how are you going to run your company?
Yeah.
You're going to kick it and do nothing. Well, guess what you're going to get?
And you got to want it more than everybody else.
That's correct.
You got to want it. That's one thing. That's another thing.
And then people start to feel it, and they go, "Well, I want to be a part of this."
Mm-hmm. In the book, he talked about they had a conversation. There was no 50 Cent. He put himself in the front. He talked to his crew. He was like, "Listen, I'm the lion. If I make it, everybody's gonna eat." But as a leader, you have to put yourself in front of the line. Even as an actor, you have to put yourself in front of the line of your own company, like the CEO.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself in front of the line of this business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was a story about Napoleon, and they said that Napoleon showed up in war, and his presence being in the battlefield in front, it felt like even though there was 10,000 people, just by him being in the front of his army, felt like there was 1 million.
There was confidence. That built confidence and belief. It's like,
And
okay, you're so good. You're so good at this. I can see you doing your TED Talk. I know it's coming.
There you go. This is my first TED Talk right here.
I know it's coming.
An acting studio.
Hey, man. I know it's coming. One last question. You've given so many.
I know. I just go. You tell me something, I'll just keep going.
Thank God. You're like the greatest guest possible. You've given so many jewels. One last, piece of advice for actors specifically that are just like, I can't. I mean, you've already given great advice, but what would you say to them specifically, if you could say anything, where they have imposter syndrome like you had?
Oh, don't believe the lies that you tell yourself. Right? If you're saying something negative, why are you going to war with yourself? Everybody got to end a war. So you're going to go into war with yourself and then face the world? There's no way to win no war. You can only win the war when you're confident. And even if you're not confident, get up and fucking do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes!
I wake up and I say, I want to do the hardest thing. When I work out, I say, I'm going to fucking work out until I collapse. Right? And I'm going to give it all I got.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know that I got it in me, and everybody has it in them to give it all they got.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. Gadiel! Yes! That was great. Thank you. What a great guest.
Oh, we did it.
We done.
That was easy.
Right?